morning, sweet friend. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maylene Call from Mrs. Call's Campers. If you're new here, I am a kindergarten and first grade teacher in Northern California. This is my third year teaching. I do already have 5 vlogs up this year. You can watch this year's playlist using the link above, and I'll link other playlists from vlogs in past years down in the description box for you. Today is Monday, September 20th. It is 6:50 in the morning. I got here a little bit earlier today because there's a couple of things that I want to do and just get my center folders prepped. A lot of you guys wanted to see more about what I'm giving my students, so I'm going to try to show you that on Mondays. Hopefully that's helpful. It's also Cookie Butter Monday. Every Monday I make myself a latte with cookie butter in it just to get that little extra boost of happiness in the morning. But I thought it was so cute because when I posted last week's vlog, one of you posted a little boomerang of you watching my vlog and like cheersing me, and I thought that was so cute. So if you get a boomerang of us cheersing, post it on Instagram and tag me because I think it's adorable. Are you ready? Okay, hopefully you got it. So let's get started with our day. This is how I left my desk on Friday because I knew when I came in on Monday I wanted to get busy and get to work. First thing that I usually do in the morning is pull out my planner just to see what we're doing for the day. On Friday I left myself a little sticky note of things that I needed to get done. I'm gonna fill out this little AIDE dashboard. This is in the link in the description box. I'm going to write down like what we're doing for the week and then some things she can help me with, and then if she has extra time, this is what I would prefer her to do. So I'm gonna do that. And it's Monday after school. I feel like I'm on a high because today went the best it could have went. It went so well. I want to start off by saying my little friend who I'm using this chart with got stars in every single category today. He had a perfect day, and I told him if he had a perfect day then our principal would stop by, and he did at the end of the day, and they played like dinosaurs together. It was super sweet. But I am so proud of him. So with this, we're just setting one goal. So he had a perfect day of keeping his hands to himself, and so I think I'm gonna try it again tomorrow, see if we can get him to keep his hands to himself all day tomorrow, try to be successful with that, and then you know, we can move on to another goal. So I think it's really best that we focus on one thing at a time, not necessarily keep your hands to yourself and stay where you're seated and pay attention the whole time and do this. That's just too much for this student. So he met his goal today and he exceeded his goal. So I'm super proud, and it was also really special because towards the end of the day, it was right after recess, he came in, he had all these stars, and I was talking to him about what a good day he was having, and his friends were like cheering him on, they were clapping for him, they were chanting his name, saying that he could do it, and it was just really great to see all of that support, because that's something that I've really stressed with them, is that we're all here to support each other and help each other, and some of our friends need extra help, and a leader helps their friends. So that was so nice. We had counseling today, and then after that we had snack, and then after that we came in and we did our literacy centers, and literacy centers went pretty well. It was a little bit chatty after they came in from lunch and recess, but that's kind of just what happens when you come in from lunch and recess, so I'm a little bit more lenient then, but I try to settle us back down. They did really well staying in their centers and doing all the work that they're supposed to do. I'm going to show you what I updated for centers. I do have to get out of here today pretty soon. So first graders pick from the top shelf and kindergartners pick from the bottom shelf. So the big update that I did for first grade is I added their sight word lists in here. They should have been here all along, but I just never got to it. So this is Smart Start. The first one's from kindergarten, another Smart Start, I think this is another Smart Start, and then these are our sight words this week, and this follows Wonders. And then I have some of my sight word papers in here for them to practice. So we have 4 ways. This is in my TPT. We have wave words, and I just put an example in there just so they would know. So I told them, like, this is just the example. I want you to use the words from this list. Ghost words, and they really liked this one today. It's where you write it in white crayon and then color it with a marker and it appears. And so I told them I wanted them to practice the list we're doing this week, and then they could go on and practice the other lists too. So they were successful with this today. And then for writing, I switched up a little bit too. So first grade choices are over here. So we have story writing. This is from Just a Primary Girl, and it's kind of scaffolded there for them. A directed drawing and a sentence. So one of my girls drew 3 apples, and I was like, okay, well, what sentence could we write? I see 3 apples. And then this is from Tara West. It's a big pack that I got from her. It's working with CVC words and sentence writing, so I have markers in here. So that's first grade choices. The middle is kind of both, so kinder or first could do this. So they twist, make a word, and then write the word on this paper that I made for them. And I have red and blue markers. So these were sent off our wish list, so thank you so much. And then kinder choices, we have this one, which I wish I had the lowercase letters in here, but I don't. But it's just practicing, which they didn't erase this, practicing letters. And then because they're still working on fine motor, they just have draw an apple and then label it. So write apple on there instead of like the sentence that the first graders have. So anyways, after they do their choices from over here, then they can do their free choice, which is over here. I think I already showed you what was in their center folders. I'll show you a quick example in case I forgot. Here's one for first grade. This one's a little bit harder. They need beginning and ending sound. And these are good. The only thing is with these, I have to tell them what the pictures are because they're not going to know this is a jug. They're not going to know this is a cub. I have to tell them ahead of time and then they can do it. Also for first grade, reading sentences and cutting pictures. We practiced this last week. Also first grade, writing CVC words. So I tell them to sound out the word, find the picture, write it, and then cross it off. And then also first grade is sentence tracing and sentence writing. And here, some of them can read this sentence, some of them can't, but I really want them to practice their handwriting, their spacing, their punctuation, using lowercase letters in the sentence, capital letter first. And then this one's kind of differentiated where they just need the first sound and then they can write the word instead of beginning and ending sound. This one for my kids who are a little bit more advanced, they build the word, they write the word, and then there's a mystery word at the end. And this one's for my kids who are a little bit more advanced. They kind of have to figure out what word goes in here. So I know they like doing Mad Libs type things, so I thought that would be fun for them. And each day they're only working on 2 things in each center from me. It used to be just 1, now I do 2 because our centers are just a little bit longer and they actually like doing it, so that's why I give them 2. And then this is our decodable this week from Tara West for first grade. Is it fun? And we're just going through, this one isn't stapled, it's just my master copy. And practicing with this. So yeah, today was a really good day. Also with my reading groups, today I pulled 4 groups. So that's almost all of my kids that I pulled today. And for my kinders, what we're still working on is that switch it activity I've been talking about. And one of my groups who is, I would say, on level is really successful for it. So for example, we built the word sat, and then they changed it to sad, and then they changed it to sap, then they changed it to nap, and then tap, and then tad, and then mad. And they were really successful with that. And I also started introducing it to my group that's kind of right below them, just so I can kind of move them forward a little bit faster. And they did okay with that too. It was their first time and they did a really good job. So, and here is our anchor chart that we did for kinder today. We were working on the letter N. And these are the sight words that we mapped for first grade. And then at the bottom, I was just showing them how to do the ghost words, but they're doing a really good job with this. Today after school, I'm going to World Market and then Trader Joe's. So it's gonna be a fun Monday. Going in for just coffee syrups. Let's see how I do. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. I've got to get this though. Cannot turn that down. That is adorable. Okay, we're done with World Market. They actually had 20% off for rewards members, so I got 20% off. Now we're gonna go to Trader Joe's. So today's trip at Trader Joe's was mostly to pick up a couple of things, and then I got tempted by all of the snacks. So I'll show you what I got. This isn't a full like shopping trip, it's just a couple of like extra things. So I got some salami. I want to keep this at school for times when I forget my lunch. Some sweet potato gnocchi, green beans, some more kung pao chicken because we just made all of our kung pao chicken last night. Beef and broccoli because we only had one bag. I got these little yogurt drinks to drink at school, half and half because we needed that. Some Asiago cheese, oregano, mint, and thyme. Baby carrots for school. Some peppers, eggs, Parmesan cheese. Almost totally destroyed the half and half, but I think we're good. I got some of these Moondrop grapes. Let me know if you guys have had them before. I've never had them, but I love grapes. I love black grapes in particular. I think I'm gonna try one right now. Babe, have you ever had the Moondrop grapes? What? Do you wanna try one? Sure. They look like this. Like little, like little tiny eggplants. They taste the same as black grapes, I feel like.
Yeah, tastes just like a grape.
But I feel like these are more fun to eat, right? They're more fun to eat. Fantastic. I also picked up some Blondie mix because I can't remember if we've tried it or not, but John likes Blondies. Have we tried this from Trader Joe's, the Blondie mix? Okay, so we're gonna try that. I got some chicken sausage, spicy Italian chicken sausage. This is just like the basic garlic and herb. These little potatoes, onions. And now we're pretty much on to the snacks. I did get some more of this pasta. I don't know how to say it. I don't know if it's jiggly, giggly, gigs, I don't know how to say it. But we have a little bit left in our pantry, but it's not enough to make like a meal, so I got some more. Some peanut butter nuggets, like peanut butter in these pretzels. Some yogurt pretzels. Best potato chips ever. These are white truffle, and they're so good. Ghost pepper chips, the other best chip ever. More chips. Normally I do not buy this many chips, but these are ghosts and bats, and they're little potato chips. So I don't know if you can see. This one's like a little bat. I don't know. I just thought they were really cute and they got me with the marketing. So, speaking of marketing, I wasn't going to get these, and then I saw some other lady had them in her cart. So I got them. This I got for that pasta. I wanted to try it. It's basically just 3 cheese sauce. So I was thinking one day for lunch I wanted to like make some little protein pancake because they reheat well, and like take that as a lunch, like a breakfast for lunch kind of thing. We needed some sprinkle cheese. I got some jams slash preserves, spreads, I don't know, for margaritas. And then these I literally just got as a snack. They're basically sugar bars, but they're so good. I love like Fig Newtons, so these are good. And then the last thing I got is something that my sister told me I should get because it smells so good. It's Honeycrisp apple scented candle. So that's everything I got at Trader Joe's. And then at World Market, I walked in and the first thing I saw was this, and it's adorable. It's little Halloween pasta shapes. So I'm gonna make mac and cheese with it. Babe, look. It's, what does that kid say? It's freaking bats.
Look at it. It's freaking bats. I love Halloween.
I'm not really a Halloween person, if I'm being honest with you, but something about the way they just make it look so cute. Couldn't say no. So I didn't. Oh, this is the other thing I got that I didn't plan on getting. I got this. It's like a little dipping ramekin, but I thought it would be good not only for like wing night or whatever night, or like chicken nugget night where we have sauces, but also for like the nights that we do fondue, and it was only $5. So I'm very excited about this. And then the rest is just some syrups for coffee. I think I showed you everything in the store. Hopefully this peppermint is good. I haven't tried it yet. I wanted to buy pretty flowers, and then I was second guessing on whether or not I should buy flowers because our anniversary is coming up and you might buy flowers, and I was like, well, you probably wouldn't buy me like good flowers, so I just look at that egg. So I just bought my flowers. Okay, John already had my pre-workout ready. Today we're doing peach rings, and we're still in week 7 of Lift 4, so I'm not gonna film it because you saw this exact workout in my last vlog, but we're repeating it because we didn't do a very good job. So yeah. Dinner is brought to you by Trader Joe's and the giant pimple on my chin. I'm gonna cook some pan roasted broccoli in the oven. This is what we always do. So you put it on a pan, 425 degrees, garlic, pepper, salt, onion. That was a weird order to list those spices, and just do it till it's crispy. We do like 20 minutes. We're gonna cook the chicken sausage in a pan with some pepper and some onion. And I really wanted soup potato gnocchi tonight. Good morning, it's Tuesday. This morning I made a s'mores latte. I'm gonna try it for you. Okay, it's not great, it's okay. I remembered to bring food. So on Sunday I meal prepped some kung pao chicken and rice. So that'll be my lunch for today and Wednesday. I brought some of those Trader Joe's yogurt drinks, and then I brought some of those Moondrop grapes that are actually surprisingly good. So that's exciting. Let's see what we've got going on today. We're doing the koala who could. Also yesterday while I was cooking dinner, I opened some Amazon packages. So thank you so much, Emma. In my last vlog, I mentioned these giant push pins, and you sent them, and you also sent this book called Fly that I've been wanting for a really long time. I love wordless picture books. I think they're great for kindergarten, they're great for first grade, but also if you teach third or fourth grade, they're still really, really good. Mama bird and a baby bird, and the whole story is just told through pictures. I love this. Thank you so much. This has been on my list for a really long time, so I really appreciate you sending that in. And the other exciting thing I got were these Poppet game boards from Catherine. These are going to be great. I have so many ideas for these. I'm thinking for literacy centers, it'd be really great to like show a picture card and then like tap out the sounds and then record it. And then for math, there's obviously a million things you could do, but I'm so excited for these, Catherine. Thank you so much. You know what? I think I'd like to show you some wordless picture books since I just mentioned it. So obviously I have Fly in my collection now. Another one, actually the one that really kind of got me started loving wordless picture books. I don't know where it is right now. I think I moved it. But the Journey series is really good. This is Return, and there's also Quest. So if you can see here, there's like a little boy or a little girl with a crayon. Takes her on all of these like magical adventures. I've talked about this book a lot, and it tells a really good story, and you have to look really closely at the pictures to kind of follow along with the story and the girl and her crayon. Another really good one is Tuesday. This author, David Wisner, is really, really good for wordless picture books. So we'll give you a little sneak peek inside this one. I'll fast forward. And then another one by David Wisner is Flotsam. This one, my end of the year vlog last year. But this one's about a little boy who finds a camera at the beach. This one is another one of my favorites, Chalk. And this one I think is the easiest one probably to get, I guess, for little kids, because it's really obvious what the story's about. So basically their chalk drawings come to life. They draw a sun. There's the sun. I also have A Walk with Vanessa, which is all about kindness. Hopefully you can see these. I know the lighting isn't that good, but it's helpful to kind of get a little sneak peek. Also, I think some of my kids like rearranged my books a little bit because I also have Mr. Waffles, which is a really fun one. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not gonna be too upset because they put it in the animals bin and this is an animal, but this is Mr. Waffles. And this one has been loved. I don't want to take the cover off though because then you can't see the cat on it. Like it's got like a galaxy cover on the inside, so the cover's just ripped, but this is one of my kids' favorites. So there's a couple of wordless picture books just to get you started. I also use a ball for Daisy, use that more for writing. I have a couple more back there, but this is just a little list. So hopefully you can incorporate some more wordless picture books into your classroom. Like I said, they're great for kinder, even 4th grade inferences. There are so many different uses for them. So I wanted to take some time and share that with you. So the book we're doing today, The Koala Who Could, I did get it from Primary Scouts, but I forgot it's not a retelling kit, it's a read aloud kit. So it contains a lot more activities, but it doesn't have the large pictures that I normally put on the anchor chart, which I think is actually okay. Normally I have these pictures. I'm gonna do something a little bit different with our anchor chart because we have a different like skill focus this week. So I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and make that. It's been a long day. A really long day. It's Tuesdays, and I'm seeing this now. It's a pattern. It's Tuesdays. This morning we were thrown through a loop because we just, after fine motor, which is always great, they're really liking the fine motor bins. I'll show you inside those in just a second. But I had one friend who I could not start our book today, and I wanted to talk all about the character traits today, and I didn't show you the finished anchor chart. I'll do that. I basically just had a chance to read the book and ask a couple of questions. But here's the chart. So we'll work on it tomorrow. We're going to talk about his character traits, Kevin the Koala's character traits, and then the next day we'll do problem and solution. I did a little video. This man in Australia telling them about his koala. Anytime we have a book with like a new animal or something like that, I always try to give them a little bit of background information on it because some of them probably know what a koala is and some of them probably don't know that much about koalas, so they liked that. And like I said, whenever I can, I try to give them that background information. It just helps them be more invested in the book. So before we started reading, I talked to them a little bit more about character traits, which I've already been working on with my 1st graders, but we talked about how we can look at someone and see, like Kevin the Koala, he was gray, he is furry, he's a climber because he likes to climb, and then we talked about character traits on the inside. And for our morning meeting today, I had them describe themselves in one word, and some of them weren't quite there with it, but that's okay because it's all new. I just try to make as many connections as I can to the book or what we're learning. So we did that, and then I just had such a hard time getting started with the actual book that I just had to go through the book and ask like literally 3 questions, and that's it. And then they went to snack. But by this point I was already exhausted, and so then after they came in from snack, we were doing our literacy. I had to stop a chunk, like 10 minutes of my time that was supposed to be specifically for my kindergartners. I had to stop and deal with another friend, and so the kindergartners' time got cut short, and it just felt really unfair to them. So when I came back, and keep in mind, I only have about 10 kindergartners because I'm a combo class, so my 1st graders are working with my AIDE during this time. They're doing phonemic awareness and poetry. Came back and I was like, okay, you know, I feel bad for them. Let's do a fun little phonics game. So every time we get a new letter, I introduce it as a mystery letter with these picture cards from Tara West. So this week so far we've done N, and we're gonna introduce I tomorrow. But last week, one of the letters we did was T. And the first game I played with them, super easy, was just a memory game. So I laid all of the cards face down, and then I had them go through, pick a card, pick another card. And if they started with the same first sound, then it was a match. Noodles and Nurse would be a match. So that's something fun and easy that they can do. And they could also play this game somewhere like word work on their own if you tell them specifically what letters they're working with. The other thing we did was just super simple because I had an extra minute left. I gave each of them one of these cards. I told them to keep it to themselves, don't look at it. And then I mixed them all up and then I said, okay, look at your card and find a match, find a partner. And they had to find someone with the same picture that had the same first sound as they did, and they really liked that too. They thought it was fun. And then with my first graders, we practiced a little bit of fluency with short U, and I brought out the blending board. I think it's the University of Florida. I'll put the link in the description box for you, but it is a virtual blending board. So it looks like this, and the yellow letters are the vowels. So we just worked with U today. You can add in the consonant at the end. So we practiced with ugh, and we made different words, and I had them try to say it really quickly. Bug, dug, lug. And then of course centers. And I remember last week specifically thinking, I think Tuesday we have a problem with centers because of which kids are in the center. Like my students who are supposed to be in writing today, some of them just are not super independent, or they really want that attention, so it's hard for them to get started. So that's frustrating. And then some of mine in word work are also not independent, so I'm gonna give them a buddy and just have the buddy kind of help them through it because they're capable of doing it. They just need someone over them saying, this is what you do next, and we can't do that during centers. So I'm working on that. And then I had friends who just really like to play. Today was their library day, and we have those book buddies, and they were playing. So took the book buddies away, and then they were playing with the books, and so they lost time from recess, which is not something that I really like to do. I don't like to take away recess, but if they're playing when they should be working, that's their playtime. They're not gonna have it later. So I just do like a minute at a time. So anytime I tell them that they have a minute, if they do it again, that's 2 minutes. If they do it again, that's 3 minutes. I usually don't have anybody get to 3 minutes though. Centers was hard today. Usually I think it's pretty good on Wednesday, so tomorrow will be better. And then Friday we have Apple Day too, so really we just need to get through Wednesday, we need to get through Thursday, then we'll have Apple Day, which I have not planned for. I have some activities in mind. I am just exhausted after today, absolutely exhausted. And it's one of those things where I tried so hard to just snap back and get us going, and we had conversations and how can we do better, and it was just so hard. Good news is I think they are getting it, and like I said, each day is a little bit better. I also today did not get to subtraction with my first graders just because I realized I skipped the fluency addition within 10. So we've been working on addition within 10, we've been working on making 10, all of those things. But I skipped the fluency, and I was planning today to go straight into subtraction. I was like, wait a minute, I want to make sure I get and record their fluency. And the interesting thing is, most of my kids can solve all the equations. I think they had 12 equations, and I set a stopwatch and I let them take as long as they needed to do it. And the good news is almost all my students got all of them right. But the strategies they're using are like kinder strategies. So they're still using their fingers because that's what they know, and they're still like getting stuck and then not knowing what to do. And a lot of them I think use the fingers, and then a couple of them draw. So a big thing in first grade is we learn a lot more strategies that they can use. The problem that I'm running into this year is because they know they can do it with their fingers, and because they know they can do it in ways that take a long time, they think they don't need to learn a new strategy. So I think I want to keep working with addition because they're going to need the strategies all year long, and it's only going to help with subtraction. And I don't really care if at this point in the year we haven't necessarily done it, because I can also just pull subtraction small groups and do it that way, which is what I might end up doing. Food for thought. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. I always have to double check. If you notice a difference, I am filming on my phone. Normally in the mornings I'll chat with my friends on Marco Polo, like on my drive to school, because it's not a super long drive. But I was all caught up this morning, and so I was like, oh, I'll just turn on my favorite murder podcast. And I used to listen to that every single day on my drive to school at my last school. Well, I ended up going the complete wrong direction this morning because I think turning on that podcast put me into like my old routine. I was driving towards my old school this morning and I realized it, and I was like, all right, guess I'm turning around. I think pretty much I just need to get my PowerPoint ready because I'd only done through Tuesday. I was actually going to do the rest of the PowerPoint last night, but I left my phone, not my phone, my computer charger here at school, and I still only have one. So life hack. If you don't want to do work at home, just don't bring your charger. Kids are at snack. I wanted to show you the Qualicraft that we're working on before I prep the next thing. Doing mine up here. It's on the board. Okay, it's the end of the day. I am really tired, but today was a good day. You know what? I also forgot to show you my outfit, and I think it's kind of cute. I've got on one of my shirts. Dress is just like a spaghetti strap dress, so I threw this on top. I know I was so late on the t-shirt over the dress trend. I literally did it for the first time last year, but I love it, and if I could wear it every day, I would. I just don't have that many dresses. So let's talk about today. I said I was tired. I'm really tired. Literacy with my first graders, we did a short U word family sort. This is another thing that I could also give them during their center time, but I really wanted to practice this with them anyway. So we did UG and UT. And then they had all these words that were at the bottom. This is a Miss Giraffe resource. All these words, so this one is hut, so it would go under ut, and this one is ugh, so it would go under ugh. And I feel like I should tell you guys this because I know it helps. I never want you guys to think that like my class runs perfectly, or that I never have any behavior problems, or that all my kids are always able to do all their work. Like, I never want you to think about that, but I also try not to keep these vlogs super negative. But I had one friend today who was working on that, and this friend in particular just pretended like they had no idea what to do. When I sat there with them, I showed them how to get started. I showed them what to do. I asked them if they knew what to do. They said yes, gave me the good to go, and then I told them to start working on it. And this one friend will intentionally go super slow. They will intentionally put things in the wrong spot because they want that attention from me. They want that one-on-one. And I went over and I tried to help them, and they just turned it into this big long thing. And I was like, okay, if it doesn't get done now, it's going to get done during your free choice time. And their time was done, and friend did not finish their work. And then they got super upset because they didn't want to do it later, but free choice time rolls around, and I gave them their paper and I said, do you know what to do? And they did, and they did it in 2 minutes flat. Like, the whole thing was done in 2 minutes flat. And I was like, wow, you did it so quickly. And they were like, Also, whenever it's the end of the day, a lot of parents will actually come to my classroom door and pick up their kids. So I see most parents every single day, and I have the opportunity to talk with them. And this parent asked me how this child's day was, and I was like, well, we had a pretty good day, but whenever we were supposed to be working earlier, they pretended like they didn't know how to do something, and then they had to do it in free choice, and then they could do it. But because their dad was right there, they put it on me, and they were like, no, you just didn't tell me how to do it. And I was like, oh, you're saying it's my fault? Because this friend also has a hard time just accepting responsibility. And I said, oh, so it's my fault? And then immediately they were like, no. I do have lots of times like that where, you know, I have to stop and I have to correct things, but it's also the kind of thing where you don't necessarily remember it all at the end of the day, you know? Like, I'm not going to remember every single time I have to correct a student, but I am going to remember the awesome stories that I have. So I try to share more of the good with you, but it doesn't mean that is everything that's happening. Center time actually went really well today. They earned a smart cookie. I do remember I did tell you guys I wanted to show you in my STEM bins, not my STEM bins, in my fun motor bins, so I will do that. So normally they're on this back shelf here. These are the ones that they did last week, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So last week they were working with these little pop beads. They connect, so really good for fine motor. All these are good for fine motor. Then they had these links, and they really loved those. The next one was beads and just stringing them on the pipe cleaners. So they made things like bracelets and necklaces. And then this one I really like. This one is lacing, and they really liked it too. This was perfect for them, and they did a great job with that one. So that's a favorite. And then these are their bins for this week. So the first one are these brain flakes. Then this one, bin number 8, goes with these ice trays that I got. And these are just the water beads, and they're supposed to take the tongs and grab one and then sort them by color. And some of my friends keep trying to grab them with their hands and then sort them like this, and I have to remind them to use the tongs or to use the fork, and then they always say, "Miss Call, but it's hard." And I said, yeah, that's the point. I think they really like the way they feel, so I don't care too much. And then this one is really fun. It is making salads, and they're just throwing their pieces back in here. I really don't mind. And I usually set this one up at that round table back there, and they get a plate. They get their scissors. I might refresh this for tomorrow so there's less, you know, mess in here. But they just get their pieces of paper and they make a little salad. So you can see some of the scraps that they were cutting, and it just makes it a little salad. So if you need a simple fine motor activity, this is actually one of my favorites. And I did leave some of the pieces in here on purpose so they could kind of see what other students were doing. But I am gonna fix this one for tomorrow so that it's less messy. And then fine motor bin number 7 is making confetti, and they literally just hole punch their paper, and I showed them how to get the confetti out of the bottom of here, the confetti. Really, really good for fine motor. I always suggest to parents, if they need a fine motor activity, buy a hole puncher from Dollar Tree. That's where these are from. And then just have them practice punching the paper. So anyways, this one's really good too. Next week, I'm gonna rotate back to these and do them one more time, and then I'll probably come up with some more fine motor bins. These are containers from Walmart, and then I have the labels on there with the Target dollar spot adhesives, and I just slipped it in there. So yeah, if you have any other great ideas for fine motor bins, leave them in the comment section so I can swap them out. But they've really enjoyed all of our options, and we just started those last week, so this is the second week with them. So that's all of the bins that we've done so far. OCVBNM on a keyboard, spacebar, space, dominant personality, alpha, where Charles Lindbergh flew in the first solo non-stop. Where was that? I don't remember. Beach house support. I don't know. Ancient. Oh. Stop it! Do you know? What is it?
Fido.
Stop it. Alphabetically first month, April. Kid. Child. Where the Atlantic is relative to North America. Could have done it faster. Marsh bird. Here. Battery end.
Oh.
Don't stop. Hold on. Desert animal with humps. Wait. Stop. I don't know. Hold on. Tech worker.
Can't be serious.
Coder. Tesla. Punch. Oh, wait, no. Oh, gosh. C. Mets. I see. Workout is done. I'm absolutely exhausted. I don't know what it is, but lately it just seems like everything is so much harder. People always ask me what I do with my hair because I work out, and my head doesn't get super sweaty. You can see maybe. It doesn't get super sweaty, but after I work out, I try to take it down and like get air flowing through it. And then I don't do anything different. I always do dry shampoo in the morning. So I think it's just like my head doesn't sweat as much. I did want to say, while we were getting everything ready to work out, I opened this Amazon package And it's these dry erase sleeves that I put on my wish list recently, actually, because I needed more of them for centers and I needed to replace the ones at my small group table. And it's so funny because John's first cousin actually watches the vlog, which is weird for me to think about like family watching the vlog, which it makes sense that they would because like, I don't know, it's kind of like we're like hanging out. But I thought that was so cool. So thank you. It's almost 8:40. Oops. John's working, so I've just been doing progress reports. I've been watching The Voice, which I love, and I've been adding activities into my Seesaw account because I hadn't set that up yet for my class this year. I did really enjoy using Seesaw with my class last year. I of course used it a lot with distance learning, but I bought a pack. I want to say it's from Terra West, and it's, I don't even know, probably like hundreds of instant little games for them to play. They're all based on the standards, and when I say games, I use that term loosely. It's a lot of like matching and things like that. Also can't get over this look that I'm giving you guys. And also I have computers as one of my literacy centers, which some of my computers, Chromebooks, are not working right now, so I'm literally just having them do puzzles, which is great. It's great. Puzzles are great. And also on the topic of literacy centers, I am grateful that we have Chromebooks because access to technology is wonderful. However, Chromebooks for kindergarten and first graders do much better, but kindergarten especially, they're just so difficult. They're just so difficult, and they can't do things like practicing letter formation with a trackpad. Like they have a trackpad. So I have 3 Amazon Fire tablets. The only reason I have 3 Amazon Fire tablets is because an author donated money to my class and I used that money to purchase the tablets. It's so hard because as a teacher, you just want to spend all of your money on things for your classroom and for the kids. And part of me really wants to buy 3 more tablets because it's just so much easier for them, and I feel like it's something that'll also make my life easier because it'll be easier for them to use. They're just way more kid friendly, but I also don't need to buy them. That's one of the reasons why I really like doing sponsorships here on YouTube and on Instagram, is because that money I can take and just pretend it's a classroom fund. So I do have some money saved up just from like that I can use towards the tablets. So I think I'm gonna do it. It's just a lot. So anytime you guys see a sponsored post or a sponsored YouTube video, I really appreciate all of the interaction. I appreciate all of the support because you might not realize it, but that's a big factor into what companies look for when they want to sponsor someone's video or sponsor someone's post, is the interaction part. So you are actually helping our classroom when you do those things. So I appreciate it. Okay, just an update. I did it. They'll be here Friday. I feel so much better. I do. I really do. So thank you again for watching, supporting. All of it makes a difference. Really, truly does. Okay, see you in the morning. Good morning. Today is Thursday. I made a white peppermint mocha this morning because I really wanted one. Also listened to the Christmas and Chill album by Ariana Grande on the way to school. Yeah. And I also decided I didn't feel like wearing real pants today, so we are rocking this cutie little button-up shirt and leggings. I love these shirts because they're still like professional, but they also cover my bum and I can wear leggings when I wear them. So last time I talked to you, I was saying that I ordered tablets for my kids, and I'm really glad I did that. Honestly, I wish I had done it sooner. Like, I wish they were ready to use today, but that is okay. They'll be ready to go next week. Put on my Cloud perfume. I really like this perfume, but I feel like I can't smell it on me later in the day, but I feel like other people can still smell it, but I just can't smell it on me. I'm gonna go through and finish adding just a couple of activities to my Seesaw library. It's so funny though because I have an hour, a little bit over an hour before the kids get here, but I feel like that time in the morning, it just goes so quickly versus an hour in the afternoon. I feel like I can get so much done. Maybe it's because in the morning I'm doing things like prepping or getting things ready for the day. I don't know. Friday Eve.
Where's our cookies?
Right? Whose job was it today?
Yours.
Mine. Hello, it's the end of the day. It is 3 o'clock, so I'm not going to stay too long. Tomorrow's Apple Day, and honestly, I should stay and prepare, but today is my 4-year anniversary with John, so I don't really want to do that. What do I really need to prepare for tomorrow? Really just the resources and the crafts. Oh, this is so hard. Why did I pick Apple Day to be tomorrow, and why didn't I do this yesterday when I knew my anniversary was today? Why did I do that to myself? Well, if we don't get to everything tomorrow, that is okay, because I think they're still gonna have fun. It's still Fun Friday, and we're just gonna be talking about apples, doing apple crafts all day long. All been good. A lot of my kids finished all of their center folder work, so I'll show you. My kids are really liking doing the ghostwriting with the white crayon and the markers. The more advanced students are doing a really good job with the secret word puzzle. I think they lost a letter there, but that's okay. They're also enjoying this in the writing center. It's twist and write, so this is beginning of the year. This is a first grader that did this, but I totally do not mind. This student also this week worked on apple writing, so directed draw and then write an apple sentence. I like apples, they are sweet, and I always give them a paper like this to practice sentence writing and spacing. For kinder, it's still the same thing that I've been showing you, so just handwriting and coloring the pictures that have that sound. Speaking of kindergarten, for today we were doing the letter I again, and I actually took that memory game that I talked to you guys about earlier in the week and put them in groups of 3 and had them take turns playing it with 2 different sounds. So one group had M and T, for example, all the M and T picture cards that I've been showing you, and they had to find matches. In another group, let's say they had A and S, and another group had, what other letters have we learned? I and N, and then we rotated, so they played that and they thought that was really fun. I'm missing the big one. We finished our koalas, our little Kevin the koala. They came out super cute. Here is a little peek of what they look like. Kindergartners, I had them draw and we labeled Kevin. I'll show you what the anchor chart looks like all completed. I put it over here just because it has like character traits on it. Really, there was just nothing on this board, so I put all the character traits that he was in the beginning in orange. So in the beginning he was frightened, worried, scared, and then at the end he was proud and confident. We already talked about that, and then today we added on problem and solution. Really quickly, I might try and see if I can get all my resources that I need for tomorrow that need to be printed, and then tomorrow I'll be here early and prep anything I need. I definitely need to go to the store and get apples today. If I had thought ahead, I could have asked parents to bring them in, but did I do that? No. $4 later, I found a good resource, and another thing that I have been really good about doing this year is any resources that I get, I've been really good about putting them in a folder in my Google Drive so they're not just sitting on my computer, and they're easy to find year to year, and I told myself that that's what I was going to do this year. So let me just show you. I know I've shown you before. Okay, hopefully you can see. This is my kindergarten folder. I have one for first grade, so I just put whatever resource in whatever one it matches, and my kindergarten and first grade folders have a lot of similar things, but I'm going to go to months and holidays, September apples, and I'm going to drop the apple activity that I just bought in here, and there it is. So I'll show you what it is. It looks like this, and I got it from Michelle Hudgens, so thank you, Michelle. I thought it was super cute. It had this little apple craft, and it had a bunch of different activities that I think would be good for kinder or first grade. So let's take a look. Ooh, this is good for like writing, a little journal, and I thought this would be better for maybe first grade. Craft, little headband, lots of fun things. I'm not going to go through it all. I'm not going to print 100 worksheets. I might print the writing center. Probably just going to pick like 1 or 2 worksheets to print from this pack, and then I'll use the vocabulary cards, and I'll use the craft too, but it just had so much in it that I think it was well worth the $4. put be a leader, not a boss here, but this is what it looks like so far. I'll be sure to share everything that's in there whenever it's done. So apparently your 4-year marriage anniversary is fruits and flowers. So I'll show you what John put together for me. I didn't get him anything, and we haven't really gotten each other like gifts for anniversaries the past like 4 or 5 years or so. We just do something together. So I'll show you, it's super cute. You got a cutie little basket, which is adorable, and I'm probably gonna use for Apple Day tomorrow. And then he put some champagne in here, and then here's the fruit part, and then here's the flower part. So cute. You'd think I would be the one to do the cute things, but it's always John, always him. I never do anything cute for him. So I just moved the flowers because I was so confused because he had like, I knew that the flowers were loose. And I was like, why didn't you just leave them on the stem? And he's like, oh, they serve a purpose. And I was like, for what? Here's a gift. Because I didn't know you were getting me anything. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've always wanted real pearl earrings. Are they like magnetic? How are they together? Oh, they just locked them. I've always wanted real pearl earrings. I wear pearl earrings every day, but these are fake. Now I'm gonna open this one. I got a necklace too. Oh. It's so pretty. Thank you. I should. You gonna put my earrings on too? Wow, they even look more real. My gift to you will be, I'll drive to the melting pot.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me drive?
Use that as we get.
So we came to the melting pot and we've never had to make a reservation before, and they don't have enough staff, so super bummed because that's why we drove here. Also, to be clear, on their website it didn't say you needed a reservation, and we've been here every time before without one. So we found a place, I found a place, a cutie little Italian place, and now I'm excited because we get to try somewhere new. It's Friday. I'm wearing my new pearl earrings. Very excited. He's so sweet. I can't believe he actually got me something. But let's see. Got here about 15 minutes ago. I was in our little staff room and I did some whiteboard art because one of our staff members is expecting a baby, so there's a cake for her today. So I just decorated like the little whiteboard, and now I'm gonna prep for Apple Day. I do have all my apples plus some bonus ones because John got me some fruit. I did bang up this apple. I want to do like that morning meeting thing where you say kind words to one apple and mean words to another apple, which I kind of busted it a little bit because I was like rolling it around and like banging it because I was like, I want to make sure it is actually bruised. And then I'm going to cut up some apples for a little toothpick stem like rotation. So I will see after school and we will see how the day actually went because I just have a general idea of what I want to do. I think this is something that like when I was in college, I was just wondering how in the world do teachers just like know what to do. Once you know your kids, once you know what they're capable of, once you have some ideas in your head and you are there in the moment doing it, everything just kind of flows. So I would say if you are someone who's in college who's afraid of not knowing what to do minute by minute in the classroom and thinking that you are going to need some detailed lesson plan that plans out every single bit of your day, I don't want you to worry because that's not at all what teaching is like. And half the time we make plans and we don't really stick to them. So a lot of it is just being in the moment, and your kids are going to have fun with you no matter what. So yeah, here's to a good Apple Day. It has been the longest day. the longest day. In the beginning I thought it was flying by, and now I'm sitting here like, wow, it's been a really long day. But it was a good day. So today was Apple Day. A little bit chaotic, but what else would you expect? Okay, let's see. Where do we start? I guess first I want to say I've been collecting money for our field trip that's coming up in October. We actually have another field trip that I'm waiting to get permission slips on. We just finalized everything. So we'll actually have 2 field trips in the same week. And I did that on purpose because usually whenever we have a field trip that week, things can feel crazy. So I was like, why not just make it 2 field trips in 1 week instead of dragging on the craziness that comes with the field trip happening. So we're doing 2 field trips that week. Typically I keep a lot of student checklists just lying around because you always have to check things off for things that different students give you. Just check things off whenever I need to. It's really helpful. So for the field trip, I had a student checklist, and I put a check if they turned in their slip and put a check if they turned in their money. I wrote down how much money they had, whether or not I gave them change, whether or not it was a check. And I was like, you know what, this is really hectic and I need to just make a form. So I did. So here's what the form looks like. It just says collection form, student name, and then up at the top I have a space for slip. So I'll check it if they give me a slip, and then under paid I'll write how much they paid, and under notes I can write things like chaperone or change given, whatever I need. And then there's a spot at the bottom for notes. I'm going to put this in our shared Google Drive folder, so if you check the link in the description box, you'll be able to find it. I'm also so dehydrated, so I feel like I can't talk. By the way, my lunch today was cake because, like I said earlier in the vlog, we are celebrating one of our staff members who's having a baby. So Apple Day. My room is a mess. I don't know, I'm a mess. Everything is a mess. You can see. I mean, it doesn't look a mess to you. I know it doesn't. I promise it is. My back table is only the half of it. We started off a morning meeting, and I got this idea from one of you guys on Instagram who messaged me. It's going to be hard to tell now, but we did do the apple activity, and I had 1 apple, and I put it in the middle of our circle, and we said really kind things to it. And the other apple we put in the middle, and we said unkind things to it. And I made this big deal about how we never use unkind words toward other people, and never in our classroom. And I made a really big deal about how hard it was for me to say something unkind to this apple, but we were only doing it so that we would show how it makes us feel. And so we went around saying unkind things, and they said things like, you're mean, you're ugly, I don't want to play with you. And some of my friends just couldn't do it, and I was like, you know what, it's okay. If you just want to give it a really mean look, you can do that, because that doesn't feel good either. And so some of my friends didn't even want to say anything because I made such a big deal about it. I'm like, that's great, that's good, that's good. Let's keep that same mindset later. So then I cut them open, and it's hard to tell now, but this is the one we said nice things to, and this is the one we said not nice things to. So let me focus it. You can tell that this one's bruised. In this half, I did my best to make it as bruised as I could. I'm gonna cut it open because I want to show you what this apple might look like on the inside, right? Yummy. It looks good, right? Yeah. With the apple that we said kind things to, on the inside it looks okay, right? It looks good. Yeah. Now I'm gonna cut open the apple that we said unkind things to. I want you to make a prediction in your brain about what you think this apple is going to look like. What do you notice about this apple? Brown spots on the inside. Let's compare. Say compare. Compare. Let's compare the apple we said kind things to with the apple we said unkind things to. And what do you notice? It doesn't look good inside, does it? But I want you to take a look at the outside of the apple. Look at them. They still look the same. And this is kind of like us, because if we ever have someone tell us kind words, we feel really good inside too, right? And if we say unkind words, our friends, they might look okay on the outside, but how do you think they're feeling on the inside? Yeah, they might feel really bad. So even if someone looks okay on the outside, on the inside, if they're not feeling good, if their friends aren't being friendly to them and saying kind words, that can really hurt them on the inside, couldn't it? Next time you're talking to someone, make sure that you use kind words, because unkind words can really, really hurt us on the inside, can't they? But I really liked that lesson, and I think it made a really big impact on them too. So after we did that, then we did an apple tasting, and I had them try red apples and green apples and then decide which one they liked best, and we did a little graph together, counted it, we wrote a sentence together, and then they went out and had their own snack, which a mom had donated applesauce to our classroom, and I was like, perfect, I'm saving that for Apple Day. So they had applesauce, and then I was gonna bring apple juice, but I totally forgot. I know so many of you guys love to make applesauce, and there was an apple pie recipe someone sent where you put like cinnamon rolls in the crock pot. It all sounded so good. Number one, I don't have a crock pot, and number two, it was just too much for me to take on this year, so I didn't do it. But I love that you guys do that. I think that's wonderful, and maybe next year I will make applesauce with my class. Maybe next year. This year I just didn't do it. Even I feel the teacher guilt sometimes looking at everything you guys do. But I can't let it get to me. It's fine. We had so much fun today, and they don't even know that they're missing out on homemade applesauce. After snack, we read the book Apples by Gail Gibbons. I will show it to you. I kind of sped through the beginning part, and we mostly just talked about like what we make with apples. It's hard to see, but here's a little flip through. It was super short because we were pressed for time. Kindergartners went with my aide, and the kindergartners read Apples for Everyone. I love this Nat Geo book, and I want to say thank you again so much to Kaylin for donating this to our classroom. This was great for kindergartners. And then they did, here it is. They did this, so they labeled the apple, and then they had a sentence, I like apples, and then they counted the words, cut their sentence apart, and then mixed it, fixed it, pasted it, and wrote I like apples. And then after all that hard work, they got to make a cute little apple buddy. Is this thing not adorable? The cutest little guy ever. They loved it. They were obsessed with it. And then what I did with first graders was we read the book A Tree is a Plant, and this one's really good. I'll give you a little flip through. Both Apples and A Tree is a Plant I used when I taught first grade for interactive read-alouds, and they are really, really good books. There's a lot of info in them. So if you wanted to do one of these all week long with your kids, there are so many things that you could pull out of them. We just read it for today. I might revisit it later with first grade, but for today we just read it, and then we talked about the life cycle of an apple. Let's see if I can find mine. All they had to do was cut the little top part and cut and paste in the right order, and then I had them, when they were done, come tell me the life cycle of an apple. And then while we were doing all of that, kindergarten is still working on this, and then we moved into writing. So for writing for first grade, I let them do kind of a pick and choose writing, so mostly their choice. They could write about the life cycle of an apple, or they could write about something else. So I hung up the life cycle vocabulary cards, and then we talked about each set that I have up here. So types of apples, what you can do with the apples, and then what you can make with the apples. And we also added juice over there, and then we did a writing together. This is what that looks like. First you pick an apple, next you slice your yellow apple, then you make cider, last you drink it. I just hugged my little mistake, because when we make a mistake we hug it so we can grow from it, because we love it. It pretty much carried us into lunch, and then after lunch was all of the fun stuff. So I mean, for kinders, this was really fun for them, I think. So the craft for my first graders was this cutie little tree. I did find this on Pinterest and I loved it, so I just pre-cut the little construction paper pieces, so one for their trunk and then skinny ones for the branches. And then I said you need a lot of glue, so they put a lot of glue here, and then they would glue just the tip of the branch down to the middle, and then they put more glue and put another branch, and then they would put their branches kind of all spread out on the tree, and then I taught them how to twist it and then glue the other edge and glue it down, and this was really fun. They loved it. And then I showed them how to cut out little apples, little leaves, and glue that onto their tree. And I love doing crafts where they have to cut everything out of paper and glue, and they use scissors, and they can make it themselves, because after they learn how to do it, they can make so many other things. Like that, I already had students telling me, oh, I'm gonna make a tree tomorrow, which tomorrow is Saturday, but they like to practice the skills that you do with them on their own. So I bet I'm gonna get some cool art next week with trees. So first graders did that with me. I was just calling them to my table, and then my aide was doing apple print stamping. And me, just being who I am, completely forgot to send them home, because the end of the day was crazy. So I have them all right here so I can show you, which wasn't intentional. I really did want to send them home. But so if they were not working with me at my table and they were not working with my aide, then they had a choice. This looks so gross right now because it's the end of the day and my kids have been poking at it. We did some apple stem These are just the ones that are left. They did actually build some really cool structures, but at the end there, they were just kind of playing with them, which is fun to them, and they're super creative, so love that. They did have some really cool ones though. And then if they weren't doing that, they were doing apple poke art, which we love for fine motor. That was it. They also took home their koalas today. I had a couple of students absent, so I have some koalas left over. And then progress reports went home today, and I had to put all their papers in their bee binders and empty their center folders and get all their stuff from today in their folders. And so everything at the end of the day just felt so rushed. So I'm exhausted. Just looking around at my room. And with the craziness that was this week, I have not planned it all for next week. I think that's all that I needed to share with you. Next week is going to be normal. And I have some cleaning up to do, so I'm going to do that and then try to go home. Also, my AIDE, I had so many things that I needed to laminate using my personal laminator because it's more durable than like the school laminator. And I'd asked her one day if she could just put like the papers into the laminating sleeves, and she was like, oh, I'll take it home and laminate it. And I was like, you really don't have to do that. And she was like, no, I love it. And I was like, okay, well, do you have personal laminators? And she said, I have 4. And I was like, okay, well, thank you. I love that, like, my AIDE that I have this year is so willing to just do things and help me. Like, it's totally different from what I experienced at my last school, which I didn't even have an AIDE because my AIDE got moved out of my classroom. So it's been refreshing to have someone who likes being in the classroom, who likes doing things, because it's made my job so easy. Like, we went to library today for our special, which that's part of the reason why at the end of the day felt so crazy, because then we went to library and then we came back and we had a couple minutes to like finish things and pack up. But like while we were gone, she was like helping clean up the classroom, and my classroom is still messy. That's how messy it was. But yeah, so I just love that. Also, one of my sweet friends, she insisted that I take an Elsa cupcake, and I'm like, you are the sweetest ever. Thank you. I'm glad the week ended on a good note. I really am. When you can come to school and have fun with your kids and your classroom's a mess at the end of the day, like, it's all okay. Y'all are gonna think I'm the actual worst, but when we started the year, I did not even give my kids like fresh pencils. I literally just threw out the pencils that my kindergartners had used last year, when I taught kindergarten last year, and they've done fine. I haven't had to sharpen a single pencil. Granted, I don't use a lot of pencils. I use a lot of crayons or pens or markers. I don't really like them erasing their mistakes. I like to be able to see it all. And it also helps so that they don't always have to feel like they're perfect. So I don't really ever ask them to use pencil in anything. I know my kinders use pencils a lot when they work with my AIDE because she just grabs pencils for them. But I haven't had to sharpen any pencils, and they've just been running on the pencils that they've had. But they honestly looked kind of sad. I had a bunch in my little dull pencil little bucket thing over here. So I am restocking and sharpening all the pencils in the classroom for the first time, and we are 6 weeks into school. I pretty much never have to sharpen pencils though, just don't really use them. So if it's something they want to use, they can always grab it, but I never specifically say use a pencil, and I always make sure that we have plenty of them so that no one ever has to ask me for one. In here, and this is how many we have right now, basically just stocking them for the year. So I'm adding all these in there. By the way, if you are in the market for a pencil sharpener, or you are like student teaching and you're looking for things to add to your wish list, a good pencil sharpener is a really good thing to put on your list. This one is by X-Acto. It's a really good brand. It has the adjustable dial, but what I really like is at the top there is a little blue light that will turn on when the pencil is fully sharpened, and it will also stop sharpening. So I'll give you a demo. And I have the exact one that I have. I think it's under like teacher favorites or something in my Amazon shop, so check the description box. It's linked there for you. It is $30, but it's a really good thing to put on your Christmas list for student teaching, or to save up for when you're student teaching, or if you're a teacher now and you need a good one, this is a really good one, especially if you have like pencil sharpening as one of your student jobs. I just have a director and a helper, so I don't really have student jobs or students who use it, but it is good for students if you need one. See how it turns off? It is 4:55. I was not planning on staying this long. I think I actually tried to close out the vlog twice, but I felt like my room was just so messy, and not even just from today, but just from like this week. So I cleaned it up. I cleared off this board for the most part. I cleared out my papers that I was just shoving in that little paper organizer, and now it's more organized, and I filed away papers that I needed to down here. I cleaned out my fridge, cleaned out the top. I organized this area over here. This was driving me crazy, so now it's just a lot better. And I plugged up my tablets, which I think my other tablets are coming tonight, so I'm gonna see if I can get the apps I want on them. And we are saying goodbye to the classroom for the weekend.